All right, man.
Where we at? 7?
We at 7.
We gotta stop counting, bro. This is like counting sheep, you know?
I like counting. I like counting because it's like when you're in the gym. Like the first couple is always, it's always like, God, it's like, damn.
You know, you sound like David Goggins right now. Like, yo, you know what my coach said to me one time in football? Take your headphones out, son. I need you to hear your teammates vomiting, you know?
Yeah.
This is beautiful. You know? This is what's gonna lead us to greatness. You can't need to listen to that shit. They're not on the same wavelength as you right now.
Straight up. So I feel like when you counting, it's like you're in the gym, like you're doing your reps. The first couple is always like, damn, but before you know, you at 9 and you at 10.
All right, well, I'm gonna stop at 10. You can keep counting.
We'll do tallies. We're gonna do tallies from now on. 1, 2, 3.
It's bulking season. You gotta keep counting.
Let's get it. All right, let's do it. Episode 7. Me with chess moves. It's your boy.
Peace. I'm trying to figure it out, bro. I'm trying to figure it out.
Another member of the team, Mr. Jen. I'm gonna let you introduce yourself. Talk a little bit.
Yeah, thank you. First, thank y'all for having me.
Absolutely.
It's definitely a blessing in disguise to just kind of get outside of your own comfort zone. Never been on a podcast, so I appreciate y'all popping the cherry on that one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've all had our journey through Uncle Sam's area of expertise, so I'm trying to break free of that. My specialty is more in cybersecurity, just by way of like accident. I kind of stumbled on it, and you know, being curious by nature.
For sure.
It's not gonna make a little bit of money, and I'm trying to put everybody else on.
No, because before we started, you said, I wanted to say you were a web developer, and you said security engineer. So did you start in web developing and move into that? Or was I right or wrong about it?
No. Definitely started with web development. So first I was like, you know what? People are gonna be so far behind in technology. I wanna get a piece of it. That's all it was. It was more out of almost like greed. Like, I don't want to get left behind on the next wave of technology. I need to be in on it. I felt like I missed the train when cryptocurrency got hot.
Came out.
Bitcoin.
Yeah, I slept on it, and I was like, God, this is gonna be fake.
I mean, I feel like rather slept on than did what I did, which is pull money out August 10th, 2017, literally the week before it skyrocketed to like 20,000. So I think I would have much rather been slept.
Let me tell you, my experience with Bitcoin was a lot simpler. I think I bought it, and in the same month I cashed out.
Yeah.
I didn't have no time for that. Like it sounded like something that I'm like, this is not for people like me who work a 9 to 5. So.
Don't ever say that again, bro, because that's exactly what they want you to think. You know.
All right, so you do cybersecurity.
Cybersecurity, yep.
Before we even get into what made you get into that, why is that important right now?
Wait, please tell me what cybersecurity is. So for people who don't know, because I barely know.
Break it down, yeah, because
we
was clearly...
cybersecurity is exactly that. Like, you got people that do physical security, like ADT and Ring Doorbell. You got personnel security. You got the people that, bouncers, all that.
Right.
So we have become a lot more digitally connected and a lot more I need it now type of, like, people. And so the more connected you are, the more opportunity is for somebody to steal something. So if you got something valuable and it's on the internet, somebody can take it. So as a cybersecurity engineer or security engineer, however you want to package that up, the goal is to put a lock on it the same way you would put a lock on your door.
What are some forms of cybersecurity?
So there are ethical hackers and there are unethical hackers.
Black hats and white hats.
It's like Navy SEALs and Halliburton, you know?
Right. So like you learn how to hack things in order to protect yourself, and that's kind of what I do. Like you go to school, they teach you exactly the same tools that the hackers use, and you do it to secure major corporations. Like they don't really care how it gets done, they just want it done.
Isn't that how they like do Google AI like contest? They're like, hey, hack if you can hack into our
They do. It's called
servers,
bug bounties.
Exactly.
They're
then
called
you
bug
are.
bounties. Yeah.
Is that so? A couple of years ago, I remember I was looking on the internet. This is when I'm in the rabbit hole going on YouTube, doing all of this craziness. So I found the Cicada 500. Have you heard of that? So Cicada 500 is basically like, it's so it was a Reddit picture that it was a picture of a cicada. It was in 8-bit form though, and inside of the picture there were little clues as to just, I think it was directions. So when you went there, you found out this. You basically broke it down. It was a binary code that you put it into the URL, took you to another site. It had another graphic.
So it was basically
on
like
it.
a scavenger hunt.
Basically, yeah. But this was over multiple. Like this was international, and everybody was trying to figure out like, well, who's setting this up? What's the purpose of this? How do they know people are going to respond to this? And what'll happen to the people who win? What's the prize? Nothing ever came from it. Like,
They
it
still
went away.
do that stuff. They call it capture the flag now. It's just the way that you get your chops up, like how you practice hacking. It's like you go to football practice to keep your skills up. It's the same thing. They call it capture the flag, and you pivot. You get in, you escalate your privileges, and you pivot, and you just keep going until you get whatever the ultimate prize is. A lot of times, to be honest, it's company against company. It's not like some dude sitting in a dark room with a hoodie on just because it's other companies. They want to know what your proprietary whatever that is. They want to get in and get it and then compete with you. That's what that is.
Okay, so I have a question. What's the difference between protecting your computer, your home PC, and protecting, like, let's say, your network or like your website or your content or your software?
The network includes your PC. You know what I mean? Like if you don't have nothing plugged up to it, then you ain't got nothing to worry about. You know what I mean? So it's not really a difference. If you just playing video games and you don't have nothing on there that needs to be protected, I'm not gonna say it's not for you, but I'm telling you, you have something valuable that somebody wants.
Yeah, that was my next question.
How does this relate to
what worth stealing is inside of digital information?
All right, so like people like to buy skins and shoes on 2K and all this other stuff. Your credit card information is there.
Oh, okay.
You know
That's
what I
what
mean?
I was gonna say. We get into like,
Understood.
your webcam in the crib, stuff like that.
Nah, I hear about the people hacking like rings and talking to people's children
It's
and
a
all types of
fact.
crazy
No
stuff.
way.
It's a
Bro,
fact.
what? It's
It
on
is a
YouTube.
fact.
I'm gonna send you the
That's
link.
crazy.
I mean, you gotta like, cause it's crazy. Something like
Yeah, I took all interior cameras out of my house.
that's smart.
Like,
And you
yeah, everything
should.
on the
Yeah,
outside.
that's
And you
smart.
should. If you got like anything unattended, even if you turn it off, it can still be on.
Nah, I remember my homegirls. Like I remember when I was in college running around, I would go to my homegirl's room, cause I was wholesome. So I was
in there
just
praying.
You know what I mean? Just going there
It was just
studying,
praying.
minding my business and stuff. And I remember going to their rooms and they all would have like a Band-Aid or a piece of tissue or a piece of tape in front of their camera. And I'm like, well, why are you doing that? And it was like, well, I don't want nobody looking at me and you creeping on me and stuff like that. And, of course, I never thought about no shit like that
They do
from
it.
my laptop. But then it's like, yo, it's really, people go out their way to learn how to hack shit like this.
Well,
to
it's
do
not
stuff
even
like that.
it's not even like it's difficult. Like you can find YouTube videos on how to do it.
No way.
Absolutely.
So
Now, what
hacking
they
is,
do
hacking is
is
mainstream now.
it is absolutely
That's
people.
crazy.
Companies are hiring hackers to like come out of the dark side to protect their assets. Corporations don't want to lose money.
Of course not.
I used to tell people I used to do my thing on the computer because I used to jailbreak my iPhones, like back in the day, iPhone 3, 4s, jailbreak it, I guess, not to get the carrier off, but to like,
Yeah, I
use
remember
it.
that
You want to do what you
phase.
want.
Yeah, people
Back
changing
in
the
the,
phone.
Everybody's like, yo,
City
can you
of
jailbreak
Phase.
whatever I got?
Get some movies on
Probably.
there,
Yeah.
free YouTube, get YouTube to work.
All of that.
By itself.
And that's something like crazy enough. And when I was stationed in Japan, you would have to jailbreak or kind of like put a VPN, like just
yeah.
a private network, so that you could watch Netflix.
VPNs
because
in
certain
school.
countries is
Yeah,
not.
and
They
in
don't.
school.
So I learned recently about the digital wallets,
Yep.
which basically you pay a fee. And I'm not explaining it to you, but just explaining it for the people. But you pay a fee, and this app basically hides and codes and protects all the information online and stuff like that. So I started paying for it. It's real. It has like this memory feature to it, so it started to remember all my passwords and stuff like that. And then I immediately just got nervous and got scared. I was like, wait, hold on, because now I'm like, well, goddamn, you know all my information.
Nah, well, you got to remember most things like that now is like they have like this 2-factor authentication, and I know that sounds like it could be fancy, but it's
I know
not.
exactly what
it's
it is.
just
It's annoying.
You have to have. It's like something you have and something you know, or something you are and something you have. Like you have to have a combination of those two things in order to access what
It's
it is.
kind of like she gonna ask me, well, what did you tell Sharon before he walked in here?
It's-
But she already knows
but-
what I said. It's like double verifying.
Definitely. So like, you could probably store all of your passwords in your phone, but if I don't physically have your phone and I don't physically know your password, then it's secure. You know what I mean? That's the double authentication right there.
No doubt. So all right, so it's a lot of lanes out here that people are stepping into right now. I see a lot of people taking up cosmetology. I see a lot of people taking up lawn work. I see a lot of people taking up just gyms, personal training, home improvement, DIY stuff, all of that. What made you go into tech?
So the easy answer for that is in about 30 years, the median income for black people is going to become like non-existent. Like there's not going to be a middle class for black people. That's the bottom line. And it's because technology is going to come in so fast that people are only going to be consumers, and they're not going to be able to understand
produce
how to
or be involved in the system.
They're not going to be able to do the back end.
I mean,
you know
think
what
about
I mean?
it. How many McDonald's are there, right? How many people are working there to be replaced by those machines that are now taking your orders? So like,
Yeah, you know, they got the little kiosk and
Exactly.
you just walk in and order. Now you don't got the kid in high school who's learning customer service no more. That's all automated.
I don't really feel like I don't really think that that's as big a threat as people.
Bro,
It's
think
fast, it's
about
coming.
It's every aspect of your life. Let me tell you, like, so my lawnmower, my you know, my yard, big as shit. I don't like to cut that shit, right? So I was thinking to myself, do you hire somebody or do you buy a machine to do it? Do you buy a robot, right? And all right, cool. I gotta meet somebody, put an ad out, see if I like them. They gonna show up to my house. I gotta pay them, or I could spend $1,000 one time on the Landroid, which is, you know what that
I've
is,
seen
right?
them.
So
They're
it's
like
a
little
lawn
buggies.
mowing
Robots.
robot, right? It's a Roomba for your lawn, and
That's
I
exactly
bought
what
it
it
for
is.
$1,000. I did the math, like I could pay somebody $30 a week for the next 52 weeks. I mean, you're not gonna cut all year, but
Right.
or I can make this investment one time, and I don't have to talk to this thing or, you know, give it gas money or anything like that. So it's so prevalent. And I wanted to talk about how coding in general is prevalent, because I mean, MySpace, think about it, you know, what we do now on, what was it? I was thinking about something else. We got MySpace. I mean, it was a bunch of stuff I was thinking about that was like small ways that people code today.
Oh, like changing the graphic and the layout.
Yeah,
and
you
schemes and
embedded
stuff
your
like
songs
that.
on
Embedded it,
there and all the different
made it
graphics.
marquee and stuff.
Exactly.
That was coding, right?
Yeah, it was absolutely coding. Nobody knew it. They just figured that's what you were supposed to do on
So we was
MySpace.
basically toying with
Amazon.
a six-figure skill.
That's
this
what I
entire
wanted to
time.
say.
And we
When
had
you-
no
And
idea.
had no idea.
of the
That's what I wanted to
potential.
say. When you go on YouTube and you jailbreak, or when you put, what's that thing called?
on your
Fire Stick.
Oh, like Cody?
Yeah,
Cody?
when you
Oh.
put Cody on, that's coding, isn't it?
It's a form of.
I'm about to
it's
say,
just-
isn't that like kind of a couple steps removed? Because
Not really. I mean, it's just somebody. This is what I say about being consumers and not like people who are the engineers of stuff. Like we know that we can use it for whatever it is, but we don't know why it works the way it does. And so that's the circle the wagon back around to like why I got in. Like I'm naturally curious about like why stuff works, because I don't want to have to pay you more than I need to when it's not that hard. Like Peep Game with the website, right? Once I put you on, you were like,
You transfer my domain.
that's
yeah.
it. That's it. It's all you. It's not hard.
taught him to fish.
Oh,
And what
you know
she
what I mean?
said initially when she built my site, she's like, "Hey, I can manage your site for like, however much a year, or you can manage it now that it's built." And I'm just like, "Go ahead and manage it." But then once I got into it later, I'm like, "Hey, I'm gonna need those permissions," because it's all about convenience,
That's
bro.
people pay for that convenience.
You're gonna pay for the convenience, but you don't have that like security anymore.
Yeah.
So it's like you could keep everything cash. You could keep everything, not automated. You could not, pay your bills automate. You could do everything by hand, but it's going to cost you in the long run.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have nothing but time now, though. I feel like paying for convenience at this time is just you just throwing money away.
Not even. You know what? The funny story. So I met this guy, man. He had some kids that he adopted from like some other third world country, right? And it's not funny, but it's funny that, we take a lot of stuff for granted as consumers, because he took these two kids who had never been in a first world country and took them to McDonald's. And for the life of them, they couldn't understand how you pull up to a window and hot food comes out.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Wow.
because we as consumers, that's normal. But
Super
there are
normal.
still people so far removed from what our normal is. Eventually, this technology is going to do the same thing to our culture.
It's like we went to, was it Djibouti? And those shepherds, they were like trading us knives and handmade masks and necklaces
For our
made from
gloves.
bees, for gloves and
And our
batteries
Gerbers and knives and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I'm
just
not
small
saying it's
things
gonna be
we
that
overlook. Things that
bad,
are just, we
But I'm
really-
telling you, you're gonna see a shift in like, look, IT is like a predominantly white male dominated industry.
Yeah,
You know what I
Silicon
mean?
Valley.
Right now, for like the way the culture is like vibing, people don't want to be labeled as racist. in their company or a lack of diversity. So my plug is anybody who want to secure the wealth for them and their family is to find a small niche in IT. And it's not like IT means you got to be building computers, you got to be hacking stuff. If you're good at policy and rules and you know how to enforce rules, there's a space in IT for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you are good with just managing a project, saying, hey, here's what I need, big picture. We got a company that's, growing and they need 32 computers. I'm gonna bring you to 32 computers and then you do it. You know what I mean? That's like organizational management. Yeah, there's a room.
So IT has its own infrastructure now.
It's just like saying I want to be in healthcare. Like all these different branches.
Right,
under
you
there.
don't
It's
have
the
to be a
same,
doctor.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
That's crazy.
So what do you feel like you have as far as means for people to, break into the industry?
So I joined this this group. It was called Career Karma. This guy's name is Ruben. He's huge into like breaking into tech. And he created this app, him and his friends, on just the idea that it can't be this hard to get into tech. That was the idea. Like, we have to make it easier. So we're going to pool our resources together and we just going to tell people the easy way. We're going to tell them, don't go down that rabbit hole. Here's the plan. And so that was like my first little, hey, I'm going to start here. To get into it. Yeah. And then after that, I felt like a lot of people were getting distracted. And it was just like, you ever join a group where, like, credit, people come in, they ask the same question every week. A new person comes in, they ask, hey, how do I fix my credit? And you just like, damn, we already covered that question like months ago. That's how it was starting to feel inside.
Phase one.
Right. You always got to circle back to try to bring the other person. So then I got down the YouTube rabbit hole. Let me tell you, YouTube is a godsend. If you really, really trying to secure a bag, YouTube is it.
Oh yeah.
YouTube University is gonna make me some money. I promise you, it's gonna make me some money.
That's what I've been saying, bro.
You build a house.
Whether you are a consumer or you putting, content up, you're a content creator, it's gonna make you some money. But definitely, like, use YouTube. Don't be afraid of like hardcover books. Like, I prefer an actual book. And
Nowadays,
I still go to Barnes and Noble. Like, my iPad dies and I'm mad, or I can't bookmark stuff. Like, I tell people all the time, get a book, find something you like, and read it, and know that. You don't gotta be a Swiss Army knife and be good at everything. Just find you a little area in there and do that.
I keep my books on my iPhone, and some books, like if I really like it, I'll have a hard copy too, in case, No,
shout out to books. So,
shout out to books.
Straight up, yo.
No,
That's a tough plug.
Yeah. He plugged all of them.
What was I gonna say? So, all right. So, are you saying how you learn a lot of stuff on YouTube, and then you kind of plugged in the whole books and things like that? There's always a disconnect that people have between, like, look, I was trying to read these books, so I said, fuck it, I'm gonna just do this shit on YouTube. So
I'm a use case type of person. Like, you gotta tell me what's the purpose in order for it to make sense. And I understand a lot of people learn that way. Like, I can't just tell you, you hack it because you have to hack it. You know what I mean? You need to tell me why I gotta hack it in order for me to even spend my energy on it. You know what I mean? So I know a lot of people struggle with, like, we call it like tutorial hell. Like, people just do tutorial after tutorial and they still don't know what the hell they're doing. So, like, I think you have to just first understand how you learn. And once you understand how you consume content, then you can become a monster. You know what I mean? For me, I had to have somebody tell me, hey, the reason these people want cyber engineers is because they don't want to lose money. Now I'm going to show you how you can make money from them not wanting to lose their money. And then I was like, oh, I'm all in. I want to learn everything about it. I want to be the person that they cannot survive without at this company.
Okay, so they gave you your reason as to why you belong there, and then you hit the ground running.
Yeah, but you'll find that you have a lot of imposter syndrome. Like, you feel like you don't belong. Like I said, it's a predominantly white industry. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had a guy call me last Friday, and he said, hi, is this Jennifer? And I'm like, yeah. Yeah, like, it's my phone. Like, yeah. And he was like, hey, this is me from whatever company, and I saw your resume on whatever website. And I'm like, all right, okay. What's up?
What's up, yeah.
He was like, so I see on your resume that you have this, and this tool. Almost as if like he was ready to play Stump the Chump. Like, let me see if she really about it or she just forged her whole resume. So I started hitting him with it, right?
Let's do this.
Before I knew it, I was on the phone for like an hour, and Buddy was like, yo, you like me? And I'm like, nah, not quite, colonizer, not quite. But I'm just saying, like, what are we trying to do? He was like,
Exactly.
look, I want to offer you a job.
There you go. There you go.
You know what I mean? But I shouldn't have to just, like, it's an interview.
Yeah.
First of all, you didn't tell me that's what it was, but you came flaming at me. You
He
know what I'm
came in
saying?
hot. He called you and said, "Are you available to talk?" Well, I answered the phone.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of thing that I wasn't looking forward to. But you gotta kind of just let the imposter syndrome go, know that you belong, and get your bag. Like, it's.
See, I would look at that a little bit different. Only because he came in so hot off the first conversation. I would have took it as like, yo, he's precise and he's direct. So
Yeah.
if I want to work with somebody, it's going to be somebody precise and direct.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because he called you with intention, like I'm gonna offer her a
But
job.
you know you
so
can
let
read
me
the
just-
room, right?
Of
Because
course,
you can
yeah,
tell
of
in a
course.
person's tone when they already
Of
doubting
course.
what your skill set is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People go on LinkedIn. That's the first thing they tell you when you're transitioning out. They like, get a LinkedIn, put a picture up. Every time somebody call me, the first thing I do is write their name down and I go look and see who it is.
Yeah,
Because I want to know, like,
Who
is
are
this
you?
person
Right,
like me?
right.
Is the person for the culture or is the person just for the money? Like, they want to use me, you know what I mean?
I mean, at this point though, doesn't it come with the territory?
Nah, I don't
No?
got to.
All right.
Because I was gonna say, now you could be that person that's not doing that to the young.
Yeah, I don't want
coders
to.
that's coming
I
in
don't want to be
behind.
that person.
So look, so this guy that offered you the job, clearly he was doing this probably, it's safe to say, a little bit longer than you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, so for him to do this now, and he's been doing it for so long, longer than you, you got to run into a lot of fakes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this
You
behavior
do.
wasn't just, he's not just doing it just to waste
But I'm gonna
people's
tell you
time.
what he
like,
did though. I'm gonna tell you where he messed up is when he told me, just like you said, he'd been in the game a lot longer. When he told me that I was just like him, I knew I didn't need to work for him. You know what I mean? So like, I was like, I appreciate the offer. You know, I'll be in touch. Just a smooth walk off.
We'll keep the door open.
Right.
I ain't gonna
Yeah,
shut
that
it
was
in your
yeah,
face.
yeah.
But bro, I was gonna say, like, I think it's dope that you're in this position because, like, I feel like I have you on because, like, you didn't, like, the same way you didn't shut the door in his face, you didn't do it to me or to Sharon because, like, I was thinking earlier on the way over here, like, in the military, even though we should feel protected by our elder black, counterparts, I feel like if you're not part of that culture, it's like once you get out, we don't fuck with you.
Nah.
Or if you're not a part of this system verbatim, then we don't fuck with you. But I felt like, once you get in the doors of these industries, you should be like, hey, how do I do this, Or like, help me out in this regard. Like we have a commonality and it wasn't like that. So you one of the like few people from, my military career that kept the door open and I wanted to keep it open for y'all.
I do appreciate it. I'm telling you, like, it's hard to see. I always tell people when they come to me and they be like, hey, can you be my mentor? And I'm like, my umbrella is not big enough. It's not and it's not like a diss or anything. It's not even that. It's hard because you got to protect your own energy.
That's right, yeah.
You do. Like, I can still count on one finger how many black female khaki leadership is at that command. Just one. You know what I mean? And so, like, every other person that looks like me or was once me at a young age wants my energy.
And that's taking pieces from
It's
you.
hard. It's hard. I can't pour into
an empty cup.
Yeah,
Straight
man,
up.
I can't. I try, but like, this is my new lane. I feel bad sometimes for like pushing these cats to the side, but I definitely got to do my own thing. I just wish it didn't take me so long to figure it out. That's
No, but I mean, I
100%.
really feel like you've conquered. Because I mean, didn't this background come from the military, or were you into IT before?
Nah, because
were in
like
IT?
my rate is like you could be doing anything. They just, hey, we need a gate guard. We need whatever. We need mess master. You're not that important. Like you just do whatever.
It's so crazy how little of your job you do as you progress.
It's less. It gives less and less the higher up, and the company is it's harder to trust, believe it or not, when you get inside of the organization.
It's lonely at the top.
It's bad. Like
No
even
way.
the ones you think that you could trust, you can't. You can't.
So let me say, like when people really think about hacking, the picture, the stereotype is the
hoodie?
clicking,
The
clicking.
hoodie,
Yeah,
the
and then-
keyboard, like,
yeah,
that's
that's all
it.
you see, and then you hit it, bing, I'm in.
Nah, I mean,
Just,
it's like that, but it's not like that. It's a lot more failure than you do get success, and you got to be okay with that. Like you got to be okay with the journey and not the actual end point. You have to be in love with the journey. You have
Right.
to be, otherwise you can be miserable because you'll be like, I don't get it. I did everything that YouTube said, or I did everything the book said.
Right.
You know
My
what I mean?
cousin-
You got to be
So-
in love with the journey.
My cousin was telling me earlier. I was talking to her about it. He's in like some coding program, and he said he was with a team of coders for 3 days, and a question mark held them back from launching the app.
It's small.
They sent it to Texas, to Google, to all their friends. It was like, yo, it looks
question mark?
good, you know?
Yeah,
like,
because like
they
certain
read the code. They're like, it looks fine. And it was
Yeah.
like, I don't know what's going on, bro. Try it on a different
punctuation.
computer.
It's
And he was
punctuation.
like,
They've been telling you that since grade school.
he was like, try it on a different computer. It might be your computer got a bug or something. Like, nah, it's just a question mark he was supposed to put in, you know?
The first thing I thought of was episode 3 when we was going over the lessons and loss as far as the legal obstacle and everything, and you kind of focused on the importance of paying attention to detail. So it's like that shit is replaying
it's for
now.
real.
Like,
It's
like,
for
you see how that
real.
lesson just applies to so many other things. You know what I'm saying?
No,
But
man. It's
a question mark.
punctuation matters. It does.
I look
Bro,
at
They're
binaries.
building new languages now because they know people are tired of spending man hours on punctuation. So now
Punctuation,
they create languages where the punctuation don't matter. It is like you just want the computer to do
So
what
you
you
say
tell it to
languages?
do.
You mean computer programming?
Yeah, so like people program in
formulas.
different languages, and it's not even a different language because it's obviously English written, but it's just how you tell the computer to do what you want it to do.
That's crazy.
So instead of me saying, "Hey, I'm coming to your show," period, you can just say, "I'm coming to the show," and you don't need no punctuation. Just know what's happening. That's kind of the difference between the two
Okay.
languages. You know
I
what
get
I mean?
what you're saying.
People were like, you know what? Just erase
You
the
know what's
punctuation.
crazy?
Just tell it what to do.
In Arabic, so like when I was learning Arabic when I was a kid, there are punctuation that you use along with the letters. But I don't know if it's over time or like after grade school, they just stop using punctuation. It's just the letters because if you know the language well enough, you already know
know
what
where it goes.
punctuations would be there. Like you're not gonna put SMT together and say that that's like a
Right.
vowel letter or something like that. So they remove punctuation and it fucked me up because I'm like, yo, how am I gonna figure
How
this
am I
shit?
supposed to know
Like
the
you should have
tone?
taught it to me without the punctuation because
Yeah.
now I feel like I'm learning it twice.
Yeah,
Is this a question?
it's the same. It's the same thing.
He said, is this a question?
Just you make the computer do what you want it to do and work for the greater good of whatever it is you're trying to do.
So hacking is a vague term. It's an umbrella term.
No, hacking is hacking.
Hacking is hacking?
Yeah, I mean, if you hack something, it's probably not supposed to happen.
So when you say the Ring is getting hacked, and he hacked my laptop, he hacked my phone, he hacked my. When Offset's talking about how he got hacked, was somebody's really going? With a
Somebody
hoodie and
is
they-
really. So like they have people claim to be like hackers. They're like, I'm a social engineer. All that means is I know how to manipulate you to say what I need you to say, so I could take it back to my computer and figure out
No
what I need.
way.
Social
So, like-
engineer?
So you go to a bar. Remember how they tell you when you go overseas, hey, watch what you say, loose lip, sync ship? That's a fact because most people be like, hey, man, I heard you like the Red Sox. Yeah? Red your favorite color? Mine too, man, yeah. Hey, you said you was from Cali? Not Cali? Oh, what part?
Boston,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, yeah. That's
Yeah.
down by what street? So now you got questions like, what street did you grow up on? What's your
Yo.
favorite color?
But that whole
What's
entire
your pet?
comment,
You know
but
what
that
I mean?
whole thing was sus though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's
Not in a bar. Like you at a bar, you watching the game.
Bro, that's not
Nobody know.
sus, bro.
Overseas?
Like some people, like I don't know how many passwords you've gotten over your time, but some people are pretty like simple when it comes to password creating. Like you can't make your password on a lot
It
of
won't
servers
allow
because
you.
it won't
It
let
will
you.
not
Because too
allow you.
many
As soon as
people
you
try.
type it in, the computer knows that you typed that in,
It's like,
and
hey,
even though you
fool.
see those
Yeah.
stars, like how you know what I typed in and ain't nothing up here but some stars? Like, come on, like nothing is really secret. So you do got to get creative. I ain't gonna tell you like how many databases are out there with just stolen passwords. I took my phone, like I've recently updated my phone, and I was like, I couldn't remember a password and I keep it all stored in there. So I went in there and I was like, oh, that's what it is. And then the doggone search engine was like, hey, this password was found recently on the dark web. You might want to
Yo.
change it. And I was like,
The
Yo.
what?
the dark web.
I've
like,
heard some horror story. Like, yo, is the
and it's
dark-
not even like a separate place. It's just,
channels.
yeah, it's still the internet.
I be on there every now and then.
Nah.
I got
Hey,
the
this
onion
guy.
router. You know, I don't have a VPN. I'm an idiot, bro. Like I need to like.
All you
I
need is a different
I need
browser.
a coder friend to hook my shit up. Like I want all.
What
my
are you trying to do on the
programs.
dark web? Say, well, let's
Listen, bro. I can't walk down the street. Like you just not allowed to come down certain avenues.
Nah, nope.
Damn.
Now you look suspect. You got your hoodie
But
on.
bro,
Yo, I was.
there's so much stuff on there. From what I've seen, so like same thing. I see a horror story on YouTube. I don't believe
That's
it.
what I'm-
I'll go.
You gonna
and see
go?
if
Why
it's
would
real.
you
You
go?
can buy 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 credit cards. Working or not, they don't know. But it's like the risk you take. You can buy counterfeit money. You spend $1,000
Yeah, I've
and
seen all
get
that.
10,000 of ones, 10,000 20s. You could get
Some people are just there to buy
plethora of drugs,
email
you
addresses. You know, what I mean? So they could spam you with whatever marketing they got going on. That's what.
So let me tell
know.
y'all a story about how I got hacked, right? And I just remember this. So eBay account that I've had for years, same password for years.
That's the problem.
One day, get a message, and I'm living here in Virginia. Like, hey, your eBay order. And I'm a Nazi about like clearing my inbox. I'm not one of those people that has like 6,000
get rid of the
emails,
notifications,
right? Because it just drives me crazy, right? So I only get like a couple emails a day at that time. But this one day I got 50 emails, and most of them were from Russia. And so,
What?
and so I believe this whole like Russian collusion thing. Till this day, I still get Russian emails. Till this, and it happened right around election time. So I believe all that shit, right?
And I'm
but it
telling
has
you,
nothing to do
it's
with it.
facts, yo.
Son,
So
It's
put your
facts.
phone in another room
Listen,
when we
bro.
doing this show.
Listen to
son.
me.
I mean, that's not even like imagine. Like, look what Apple did. They made it so
No.
you could put your phone down and still hear what's going on in the other room with your AirPods.
No way.
You ain't never
That's
tried it?
essentially.
No.
I'm gonna show you after this. Yeah, absolutely. Have you seen that before? Yeah, that's not new.
Yo, bro, I can't do
So
this
if
shit,
somebody
bro.
leaves their phone, like somebody do this in the room with me, I won't say a word. I will not say a word.
But
I tried it at the house. I
flabbergasted.
was like, I asked my nephew, I was like, hey, can you take my phone downstairs? I'm coming in a second. So he put it on the kitchen table.
I'm cutting this out.
Yo, I don't even want. Son, I'm like.
It's not. This isn't like secret. It's a.
That's what I'm saying.
You know why
But
they
But that's
do it?
mad sneaky.
It's
Like
terms
that's
and
another
services, bro.
level
I'm
of
People not gonna
sneaky.
read
Like
this,
telling
bro.
you.
That's
I'm
like-
just telling you, like.
Listen, I got a cousin, and all she do is like talk about the ways her boyfriend got her fucked up,
Yeah.
right? I feel like this is gonna be on one of her stories as to
See
how
that
he
little
found.
ear? That's what that is.
No.
Let me see.
That little
Get
ear
the
right
fuck
there?
outta here.
That's what it is. So when you have your AirPods and you
Yo,
push down, you
that's
sit your phone down,
crazy,
you
bro.
can sit your phone down somewhere. As long as it's within range, you go in the bathroom, whatever, you can still hear what's going on in another
Yo,
room.
that's
Promise.
crazy.
Promise.
Nah, but I
The
was
stuff you
saying.
learn.
So I got all those Russian emails, right? But the very first email I got was from eBay. Your order has been confirmed, and I'm living here in Virginia, and it wasn't my card, so no one actually took any money from me.
It's mad bomb pieces.
Wait, no, I don't even remember
Crazy
if
shit.
they used my card or not, if I had a card on file, but I got my money back, right? So I know that the banks don't care they don't want to lose you as a client. So they'll
Right.
give you your money back, right? And the person's still going to get shipped their item, because the order was in. So what they did was they spammed me with all those emails so I wouldn't see the confirmation email, the order confirmation. So when it came from eBay, it was supposed to be lost in my spam or just hidden in there. So what I did was I went to eBay, I got the address, and I found out it was apartment in Brooklyn, bro. Somebody probably like went on the dark web, found my eBay account that it was like, unsecure, and then ordered them a GoPro. Because I'm like,
That's harmless. Yo,
'Cause
I would
I'm
think the
like-
story is gonna end up crazy just now.
yeah.
son.
That's
Well,
one
I mean,
time
you
that
gotta watch how
happened.
you throw your mail away too. There's people out there that's serious about it. They're
That
serious
was one
about
way
it.
it happened. They got a GoPro, and I tried to get it redirect because I'm like, shit, I paid for it.
Yeah, I want
But
mine.
another time it happened, I get messages to my phone. The bank will tell you like, hey, something's going on, something
Yeah.
crazy's happening, right? So I get a message like, your Domino's order has been confirmed.
Oh damn.
Like out of nowhere, your Domino's
Not
order
Domino's.
has been confirmed.
He coulda got a better pizza.
I have a Domino's account. I have a Domino's account, right? And so I check the order, and I have a pizza going somewhere in Florida, Georgia. I'm here in Virginia by myself. Like I already ate. I'm good. I don't need nothing. And so I call the store. I cancel the order. I'm like, hey, I didn't order this shit. And they're like, we delivered it already. All right, cool. Can I have the address and phone numbers of who you delivered it? They give me the address and phone number. I call the person, this girl, and she's like, I'm like, how did you order this food just now? So, oh my God, I'm so sorry. It was this thing on Twitter. This guy was promoting like this page. He sent me the Twitter. It was this like Mexican kid like sharing like, hey, cash at me $20 and I'll get you $40 worth of Domino's, or $10 and I'll get you $20 worth of Domino's.
Because
And
he
it's
not
the
paying
play.
for it.
It's the scam. Like people think if you're not doing hard credit card or money scams, like you're not scamming. But there's ways out here. There's niches
It's a
in these
whole-
industries.
that was
$1.5 billion industry. It's just
scamming
cybersecurity,
alone.
just scamming.
I like that it's a venue for people to just be creative with how they're gonna scam
On Twitter
you, 'cause
alone.
That was genius.
On Twitter alone, right? And so that's the thing. People know that the big companies care more about the relationship than they do about solving these petty crimes. They're not about to call
Facts.
you over 100, Like you have to make a certain cash amount before they start to look after you,
Yeah.
So people keep it under a certain radar.
They good.
Like I got my
Yeah.
$10 back or however much they spend off my account if it ever happens, and that's how it works. Like you're happy because you got your money back. They're happy because they have their product, and the bank didn't lose their client.
You know what this makes me think of? This makes me think of Ozarks. Like if you ever watch that show is like the
I watched
craziest,
season 1.
bro.
Yeah.
Like season 3 is just it's like it just shows like how how important once again it is to pay attention to details, just be meticulous and really just watch your work. You know what I'm saying? Because just like you said, like as long as you stay under a certain radar, the way the guy, the main character, was laundering the money was he had to check himself into the banks with the dirty money under a certain amount every week. And I think it's like 10 grand. That's
what's gonna buzz the IRS anyway. Is 10 grand.
So 10 racks. All right. So like after, right. So $1 over that is when you're like, oh, hold on, what you doing over there, bro? But it's just you gotta like again, $1 could change your whole entire future. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so do you get like flagged every time?
I think they watch you. I think it alerts them, and they're like, let's see, like.
So I had a very recent experience where I had one large amount transferred from a member in my bank account to mine, and it was an established member-to-member transfer, but because it was over $8 grand, Navy Federal was like, hey, first of all, we need to know, did this person send it to you? We got to call, confirm with them, and then
call you.
And then they had to call me, had to get us both on the phone at the same time. And in my mind, I'm like, this is established through y'all's security protocol. Like, why are we flagging? This ain't even enough to notify the IRS. Like, what are we doing?
Third-party app. I use
this is your bank.
Right.
Yeah. And a lot of times, people just want a piece of the pie. Like, you move money. The banks make money off of your money sitting there. They loan it out to other people, get the money. You know what I mean? They move the money. It's the same thing. Like, on a whole nother rabbit hole, the whole TikTok thing, right? So I have an issue with like just the government in general.
Talk about it.
Just getting into the creative space.
Let's do it.
Feel me? So like, if we decided we was gonna come up with this genius app that allowed people to just have fun, right? And now it's starting to make money. People are paying to put ads on our platform. And now you get some, I don't know, person who is the leader of the free world saying, hey, I think somebody can hack us. So in order for y'all to keep using your platform that you created to make money off of, I'm bringing my company over here to secure it. You know what I'm saying? And oh, by the way, we're going to bring Walmart in too, even though they don't got nothing to do with it. But we're going to bring them in too because I got a lot of my money shuffled over there. So now I'm going to get a piece of y'all's little fun for nothing.
Ad revenue, everything else.
And that's exactly what happened with TikTok. Like, how is it that you, like, so what? It was made in another country and now you got a beef with them. So now you're trying to tell me that, oh, I think your privacy, they sell it under the umbrella of privacy. You know what I mean? You could fear anybody into anything. That's why you got an insurance industry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, people pay for that false sense of security. You know what I mean? And then you make people have to have car insurance. You have to have it. You know what I mean? It's a whole industry.
Which is wild.
You can take on the liability yourself, or we just make you have the insurance, and then
what people don't know, if you go to the DMV and pay the $500 fee or tax, you don't have to carry insurance. That's what I heard.
Really?
I don't know if that's true.
I don't know. I'm gonna do my Googles on that one.
Because no one ever pays it. Because it's like, hey, if you don't carry your insurance, you can't register your car unless you pay the $500, right? Have you ever heard of someone actually paying that?
No.
They just go get their shit,
cheaper to get the insurance.
But and not a lot of people are just willing to go drop $500. They probably go, eat or buy some shoes or something.
Or go on the dark web.
That too. Yeah. Like the whole IT industry is room for everybody to get in there.
It sounds like it.
It's not as intimidating as somebody might want to assume it is. It's actually like a way to secure your future in a very short amount of time.
I think people get intimidated by binary, and by people I mean me.
Yeah, ones and zeros is not what you need to worry about anymore. That ship is sailed. Like, people have automated it to something where it's now like you turn your computer on and it works. Oh, here's the weather and here's the traffic, and you don't have to worry. Nobody operates computers that way anymore.
Right. Where do you see this going in 10 years?
I see not the Jetsons, but pretty doggone close, because Tesla got us close. You know what I mean?
For sure. Talk about Elon.
If I could get in on the space project that they got going on, I'd be in on it. That's all I'm gonna say. Because people are, this might seem a little far-fetched, but colonizers are gonna colonize. And if they could do it on another planet and pay money to do it because they think you can't afford to do it too.
You think we out to Mars next?
No, I'm not. Because what's going to happen is colonizers are going to go colonize.
And
they're going to find out that they don't like it. And they're going to want to come back. But guess what? we gonna already have it like, nah, no, you left.
Yeah, I cleaned this shit
You
up
left.
after y'all left.
Yeah.
We don't do that here. You know what I'm saying? Y'all stay where you at. You know, you wanted to go, you left, be over there.
Nah, but I mean, I had this point in my head when you said earlier, like, it's all under the guise of privacy, like how these corporations or entities can come in and say, hey, we need to protect you and your company. It's the same thing with the government when we're like, hey, we're here to give democracy to Afghanistan.
Sounds like the car insurance
you know?
shit. Like
It's
we
the same.
the principle.
We're
Like,
just
who's got
selling
weapons?
you an
Exactly.
idea of comfort and
Peace of
security.
mind.
Here's your
Like, hey,
comfort
we going
blanket,
to make
right?
sure they don't got weapons of mass destruction. Like, no, you're not.
That's why I say keys open doors, right?
shout out to that because that's also one of my favorite Clip songs.
They do. They open doors. Well, at least for me, my keyboard is going to open a lot of doors.
Are you gonna have those available for people to buy?
Yeah, so you can go to my website, exclusivecybertech.com. You can also learn free web developing, cybersecurity, any of that stuff. I took all the guesswork out of it. I've linked all the easier to digest videos on my website so people can just kind of go there and get their feet wet and be like, okay, now I understand. It's very, very...
Okay.
How do you feel
about
about putting together like something on YouTube about like, yo, let me break it down to the lowest common denominator?
I want to be a content creator, but I think everybody got their space. You know what I mean?
For sure, absolutely.
And it's not like I don't feel like I can't get in the space. Everybody got their thing, and it's not. I mean, if I could just like come in and sit down and do this, I'd be good. You know what I mean? But if I gotta be the camera person, the setup person, what y'all doing? No way. You know what I mean? And if I just gotta click screen record and do a couple tutorials, I could do that. But
you know what? I might be able to, put something together for you because there are people out there like that.
Yeah, I got a guy.
Like,
I got a guy.
I'm his guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I really got a guy.
I'm the same person who to tell you to learn how to do stuff so you don't got to pay for convenience, but I'm also the convenience person. Like, if this is, I will pay you for this setup, you know what I mean, if I don't have to worry about it.
Me too. That's really all it is. I feel like people want to be so good at everything when it's like, I'll be better at coding if I let her do it rather than try to do it myself. Or any of that shit. Like, like just be good at what you're good at.
Yeah. There's room for everybody to eat.
Straight up. All right, so you got to throw out all of your ats, your Twitters, your YouTubes, your Googles, websites,
Twitter,
all of that.
On Twitter, you can follow me on Twitter at Code World. That's CODE World, kind of like J. Cole, but code instead of cold. Underscore at the end, Coco World. On also on Instagram is Coco World. And then once you get there, you can find my business page. Everything is in the link.
We got a Facebook page or a YouTube, anything like that?
The Facebook page, I'm not really active on Facebook just because I feel like, you get too far off in the rabbit hole.
Of course.
A lot of my content you'll find on Twitter. You know what I mean?
Straight up.
That's where a lot of my business is. Twitter is very organic.
You put your Twitter ad out there?
Yeah, at Coco
sure.
World. Yeah.
Got you.
But yeah, you're right about the rabbit hole Facebook thing because I'm trying to like, you could put a manager in place, and we want to do it, put somebody in place to manage this show because it's so hard to separate, what you originally started your Facebook account for what you want to use it for now.
And your followers are so, like, you grow them and then you don't want to start over. So you can find me where I'm at. I'm at where I'm at and I'm going to be where I'm going to be.
But yeah, that's dope. Yeah, we appreciate
all
you
right,
for stopping by. You did the damn thing.
I appreciate y'all.
What else you got for me, King? This has been a long week for me, man.
Yeah, man.
This has been a long week. I just came back from my cousin's wedding in New York. He got married to a Puerto Rican. They both teachers in the inner city. So, that was something.
Your family just don't learn, huh, boy? I just love Puerto Ricans. Like,
listen, man, I'm happy for him. He's happy. It was a beautiful thing, and I like forcing uncomfortable situations so that we can grow and learn from it.
Over the dialogue?
My cousin definitely did that this weekend, and I think we all better because of it. So, yeah, that was dope. We got a lot of shit to do here.
Yeah, man, we got some shit coming up this week, man. I think I got two shoots this week, and I got 3 next week. Halloween is gonna be a little bit crazy. I think I'm gonna be swamped that whole entire weekend.
Yeah, you don't get into like the photo booth industry.
Photo booth? What do you mean by photo booth?
So like, my sister's got a photo booth company down in Atlanta.
Oh wow.
And it's like the little iPad. You know what I'm talking about? She getting that bag, yo.
I
She
never.
getting that bag. I'm gonna share her page, but I don't know. I think there might be one local to here that does it. They come and they
One?
set up like maybe one
Okay.
that's like
Oh, I know
established.
exactly what you're
set up
talking
the
about.
shit.
Oh, I know what you're
It's
talking
not
about.
an actual photo booth. It's
like a TV with a-
networking kind of thing. Like you get a photographer and you'll get a bunch of business people in. Like, hey, we're doing, like, come get your photo shoot done here today.
I feel like you're talking
it's
about
a big stand-up photo booth, like where
Yeah.
you would go to like a mall and sit in the thing,
Like a
and then
costume joint.
just like that. She
Yeah,
sets
they
it
had
up,
it.
and then she'll drop it off. Weddings, birthday parties, and down in Atlanta, it's like
Wow.
Oh,
that's
okay,
all
I
people
get
were
what you're
doing.
saying.
Right? She had Lynn Whitfield. She had a couple of.
I know Lynn Whitfield.
Yeah, she that was one of her more recent ones. They
that's
do. They just
crazy.
pay. They're like, oh, $500. That's it.
Just
She
leave
got
it
like
there.
4 or 5 booths. She'll just drop it off and come back.
Wow.
And pick it up.
All right.
Very high end.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just thought about.
gotta
it. I was like,
look
well,
into
you in
it.
photography? That'd be dope. She got like a couple iPads that you sit them inside of a booth, and people think they got like this gold, and they're like, oh, this is great, and it's just the selfie cam, and you click it, and it's on timer, and people pay $500 to use your iPad that cost you probably a rack, and now after 2 uses, you done got your money back. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, this is why people need to have you on their team. We need to pay for your expertise.
Yeah,
and, you know,
networking is like, you know what I found out too, like after I started this whole journey into like down the rabbit hole in IT, is that it really isn't about the degree, to be honest. Like the degree for me is still a goal, but the people that you meet along the way put you
That's
in a
really what
position.
you're paying for.
That's what you
Yeah.
pay for.
Because
is
my
the
cousin
network.
asked me that one day. He was like, "At what point did you graduate college? On graduation day? No. You know, you did most of the work already. On that day is just when you celebrate it. So at what
Right.
point? It don't just have to be college, but at what point through any of your journeys do you feel like you're now qualified to say you're
To
this
do
or
what you're
that,
doing.
you know?
Yeah, word up.
Yeah, that's why I'm at that point now where I'm so close to the end, but I've got enough of the expertise that people are ready to pay me now. Now it's just like you're trying to check that box so that you can know that when you go and get hired somewhere, people aren't using that against you. You know
Straight
what I'm
up.
saying? I ain't gonna lie, like some applications they ask you what your demographic is. I always put Asian female.
Me too.
I'm just saying, like people say
I'm
it's like
right
for
down
like
the line.
tracking purposes or whatever, but
Nah, I'll
I
be
know
there.
what you're
I'll
doing.
be there,
And I'm
yeah.
not gonna allow you to automatically discriminate me based
Yeah,
on
yeah.
you know what I mean. She part of the club, so I'm trying to
That's
get in there too.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I appreciate you,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, use stereotypes to your advantage. Like,
Yeah.
shit, I'll hire me an Asian female coder.
Yeah, man.
I ain't got nothing against them. I mean, they
Oh,
getting
shout
their
out to you also for the sweaters, the hoodies.
Oh yeah,
the
yeah,
hoodies.
yeah. You know
Yeah,
what?
You know what I'm
yeah. She
saying?
made me this last year, so I had
Straight
to
up.
represent.
Let's
And
get
if
it.
y'all want more, you can get it on the site.
Absolutely, yeah. Just,
All right. Well, that's it, man. It's been real, man. This podcast, you know, that's Chess Moves. It's your boy.
I appreciate y'all, man. Until next time.
All right.
thank you.
Oh, I'm Don Cornelius, man. I need to come up with Don Cornelius.
Detroit Police Chief James Craig says the death of George Floyd was murder.
At a press conference this afternoon, the chief shared what he feels needs to be done with the Minneapolis officer who put his knee on Floyd's neck. Larry Spruill talked to Chief Craig and Larry.